There's just no quit in America, and you're seeing that right now. We're not there yet, but we've made real progress. And the last thing we should do is turn back now. It's an honor to be your president, and I'm asking for your vote. So together, we can keep moving America forward.
That's one of the spots you see running right now, coast to coast from the Obama campaign. You know, the morning again in America, kumbaya, happy Disney ending. We get it, things will be better down the road. Okay. Dom, I believe there's two approaches the president can take. One is he can try that, and he can try and tap into the public who seems to like him. If you look at the polls, sure, there's some hardcore who just hates everything about him, doesn't think he's really an American, doesn't think he's legitimate, all the other things that we know. But take them out. Most people think he's a good enough guy. And usually, as long as you didn't really screw things up, that's enough to get you elected, re-elected, I should say. But he can try that approach. Or he can just say, can we just all be honest here? I know things aren't great right now, but can anybody remember what it was like 4 years ago? Does anybody remember people talking about bread lines when I walked into this place? Do you think I wanted to do what I have had to do for the last 4 years, but finally we're ready to turn the corner?
He can't do that. If he does that, the election is over.
Agreed.
He cannot do that. Yeah, see, the Republican would love for him to do that. He cannot do that because then he sounds like he's whining, and the first black president is whining and saying that it's not my fault.
When he preaches all the accomplishments that he's done in the 4 years, a lot of which I think are legitimate here, it sounds a little hollow. And it sounds like he's running away from the fact that nobody wants to acknowledge, but my God, things were really bad 4 years ago when he walked into office, that everyone wants to pretend, you know, with magic fairy dust, it should have disappeared by itself.
Right. Everything you said, the plain spoken version of the message, parts of that will be incorporated into all of the poll-tested messaging, but there are other outside groups that get to make the plain spoken argument, state by state, in Ohio, in Wisconsin. We haven't talked about what Campaign Finance and Citizens United has done to just totally change the playing field. There are groups, that message will be out there. It's just not going to come directly from any commercial where you have the candidate at the end saying, I'm Barack Obama and I approve this message.
Congressman, we saw last night from Mitt Romney what I believe the approach is to say do no harm. I've made my points here. I think I've provided myself to be a creditable alternative for the president. Give a new guy a chance rather than the same guy 4 more years. Basically, is that it? That he's a happy, smiley guy for the next 4 years?
We elected a president with literally no experience. And we have an opportunity to elect someone who did run businesses, who did save the Olympics, who was an incredible...
I'm just saying, is that his messaging, though?
And who was an incredibly competent governor. That's basically the points he was making last night in his closing. And I think some people listen and say, you know what, you're right. And I like you.
But does he point out the differences in the next 2 weeks, or does he just say, listen, this is who I am, I'm your guy, the morning in America?
I think he did it in the 3 debates. I think now he just runs and says, give me a chance to...
The Obama campaign gets to run Mitt Romney's greatest hits, which is everything he said from the Republican presidential primary, and then say, he's tacked all the way this way, but we know, Tiger doesn't trade, change his stripes.
In the next 4 years,
it's what he
said. He's pointing out who the other guy is.
No, but they're going to say, but what you did was awesome. The Olympics, the governor, what you did matters more than what you said in a primary.
It wasn't, first of all, it's here's my resume, now trust me. Second of all, his resume isn't all that awesome. I mean, he was a guy who dealt with debt on the level corporately that hadn't been seen before, and he's saying, I'm good on debt. He got the federal government to bail out the Salt Lake City Olympics, and he's saying, I'm good on debt on the Olympics.
I think the Olympics you're shortchanging him on. I remember a little bit, and for those involved, that was a tough,
but then
tough.
It's still $1 billion of taxpayer money.
Fair enough. Listen, I think it's going to be fascinating. I'm wondering if the fighting's over in the last 2 weeks, if it's a love fest. Dom,
no, it's not a love fest. No. The president despises him. They despise each other.
But does he give positive Obama for the next 2 weeks?
I don't think that.
No. The president is going to throw everything and the kitchen sink.
It's going to be fired up.
It's going to be fired up.
Anybody watch Al Smith dinner?
Yes.
I think they both did a great job.
Yes.
I think Americans liked both of them that night.
And then they went backstage and had Fight Club.
Michael, Dominic, Congressman, Andrew, guys, all thank you very much. When we come back, we're going to get to an issue, nothing to do with the election, but is always contentious. Indian Point, the nuclear power plant, could be the future of nuclear power in America, and it could be a bright line where we move forward as a nation with that. Stay with us. We'll be right back.